It's been a weird year. It's been a weird couple years now, right? My wife and I, at the start of the pandemic, my wife and I had been married for a year and a half. 6 months into the pandemic, my wife and I were married for 8 years. If you were trapped at home with your significant other, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And I was when we got married, I was all in on it. I was all for it. Love, honor, respect, all of it. Absolutely. Not 24 hours a day, though. I thought we'd get a break. She goes to work, comes back, then I get to love, honor, respect her again. 24 hours a day is a lot. She started working from home. I found out a lot of stuff about her. A lot. Found out what she did for a living. That was good, you know? Like, I knew she had a job, but I didn't know exactly what she did. Turns out she's a truck driver. Yeah. At least she talks like one. She just spends all day on Zoom cursing at people, yelling at people. Listen to it. God, it's terrible. Terrible. And then she comes in, because she's got no one else to complain about, too, you know, she comes into where I am and starts complaining about her coworkers, and I have to act like I care, like, yeah, Susan, she sucks. I don't know who that is. But there's this one guy she'd always complain about, this guy Brett. She was complaining about Brett at work. Brett was trying to undermine her. Brett was trying to usurp her. Brett was trying to take her job. After 6 months in quarantine, I was Team Brett. I was. I found Brett on Facebook. We're friends now. I'm like life coaching him through it. I'm like, Brett, you got to stand up for yourself. My wife came in one day. She's like, did you hear that, Brett? He stood up for himself. I was like, well, that Brett is an asshole. I don't know where he's getting that from. There we go. It was so weird. It's a weird time. I got vaccinated. I didn't get vaccinated as much for the safety, just because I wanted to be on a team, you know? Like, I just wanted to be part of it. Because when you first got vaccinated, you met somebody else who just got vaccinated. What was the first question you asked? Which one, right? Pfizer? Me too! Ah! You're like best friends. Pfizer, Moderna? I don't know if that one works. You might die. I don't know. I was sure right after they released the vaccines, they were just going to divide the country up by the vaccines, you know? They're going to be like Pfizer to the West Coast, Moderna to the East Coast, Johnson & Johnson in the middle. If you didn't get it, go to Florida. You're there anyway. Like that. My mom was the one who suffered the most during all of this because she was bored. At least that's what she told me every single day. My parents are in their 80s, so they were in that population we had to watch out for, you know? So we were always stopping by their house, bringing them food, just checking on them. My mom was just, I'm so bored. I just stay in your house. She didn't know what to do with herself. So she got on Facebook. That was the worst thing that came out of COVID-19 for me. My mom on Facebook. That was the worst day of my life when I got that friend request. Longest I ever took to make a decision. That little red one sat in the corner of my screen for about 5 weeks. Every time I logged on, I was like, ooh, not today, Mom, not today. I've been posting shit about her for 10 years. She thinks we can just become friends. She calls me up one day and she goes, you know, I invited you to be a friend on the Facebook. I was like, oh, did you? Well, you got that crappy internet connection, so it's probably taken a while to get to me. She goes, is that how the internet works? I was like, absolutely, that is how the internet works. She got an email address, too. She's real excited about that. She got it on the email. She's emailing everybody. I called her up one day. She goes, oh my God, I forgot to tell you. I got the cutest email the other day, so I added you to the list. I was like, you did what? You did what? It's like the first rule of the internet. You don't add people to lists. She's like, no, it's perfect for you. You're going to love it. The next day, I started getting the emails. She added me to a Bible verse email list. Yeah. Every day, Bible verses are getting sent to me. And I know they weren't intended for me because they're always Jesus-heavy Bible verses. That wasn't meant for the Jew named Israel, you know? So after a few weeks of this, I was finally like, all right, that's enough. And I hit unsubscribe, and I immediately felt guilty. Because I was like, maybe I should be reading this shit just in case, right? Like, what happens if I die and I get up to heaven and I'm like, this is it, heaven, I made it, it's amazing. And I look across the way and there's Jesus. And I'd be like, shit. And he's like, hey, Kevin. I'll be like, hey, Jesus, listen, can we avoid this awkwardness and just kind of let me in? And he'd be like, sorry, buddy, no can do. You didn't live the right kind of life. And I'd be like, Jesus, how was I supposed to know? I didn't know what I was doing. I was brought up Jewish. And he's going to be like, bro, I was emailing you every single day. That's fair.